Hello and welcome to Business Principles. My name is Professor Steve Greathouse. What I'll do is, in this short video is just tell you a little bit about the course. So I'll tell you about myself, a little bit about my teaching philosophy. We'll talk about what you're going to learn in the course, how to be successful, and then we'll touch on how to navigate Brightspace, how to get to your digital copy of your textbook, and some of the other MindTap tools that come with it. Then we'll go through the syllabus. All right, so let's jump in. All right, so just a little bit about me. I am a retired military officer, about 25 years of combined experience between the civilian and the military world. So, you know, some of my stories, about half of my stories be from the military, about half from the business world. My degree is in business administration. My master's is in management. All right, so some of the positions I've held over the course of my career. I started out right out of high school, going into the military, had various combat arms jobs, got out, joined, finished up college, and went to work in the corporate world for a number of years. After 9/11, I re-enlisted. When I re-enlisted, I came back in as full-timer. Then I deployed, did a combat deployment to Iraq. I came home, finished out my career. I was banged up pretty bad, but I finished out my career as an organizational development officer for the entire Texas Army National Guard. Then I did various project management type positions. I owned a small business on the side. And then I got into teaching when my wife and I moved back here to God's country here in Texas. All right, some of my core competencies, general business and leadership, a lot of management. Done a ton of strategic planning and process improvement in my career. Let's see, what else about me? Oops. Sorry about that. All right. I'm a native Texan. My wife's a professor at Baylor. She's primarily a cancer researcher, but she does do some teaching over there. Love shooting, movies, binging Netflix, camping, all that good stuff. Really passionate about teaching. That's really my focus. I'm a little sarcastic, so sometimes I joke around, and maybe you'll hear some of that in some of my videos. But I'm also kind of a stickler for rules, just because it's out of a spirit of fairness. You know, I have to make some rules with the course, and if I don't apply those rules fairly to everyone, then it becomes a matter of, you know, comparing sad stories from one student to the next, and is that person's story sadder than the other story, so I gave them this many points or this many chances to get their work done on time, you know, so I avoid that. All right, that's what I look like. Yay, isn't she cute? All right, so that's me, and yes, we are complete nerds. All right, my teaching philosophy. I really want to create the next generation of business leaders, people that can solve problems, be innovative, that question things. Is there a better way to do this? So they can innovate. And then ethics and morality are a huge part of business. So you'll hear me sprinkle that in throughout the course. I really want to be more of a facilitator. You're definitely going to have to do your part. See this more of a partnership between you and I to learn a lot in this course. All right, so I want you to learn how to be a professional. That means getting your work done on time, keeping up with your studies, doing what you need to do to be successful in the course. That's part of being a professional. I want you to think critically. When you have questions, I want you to express your questions. Let me know. Maybe there's you know, something we can work through together. As far as the course goes, I'm happy to have those conversations with you. You'll also hear me talk a lot about being a servant leader. Essentially, I want you guys to start thinking about becoming successful in your careers by making other people successful. We'll get into a little bit more of that as we go through the course, but essentially, that is, you're trying to help your customers be successful. Like that's a focus of yours when you get into the professional world. Helping your coworkers be successful, that means being a team player, helping each other, helping your coworkers get their work done. It means helping your boss be successful and helping them look good by giving them what they need without being asked, by doing your work to a very high standard, doing everything you're supposed to do without being asked, even helping your boss stay on track. And then working hard. That's a big part of being a professional. Okay? All right. Kind of what you'll learn in the course. I'm not really going to read all of these for you. You can see those primarily in the table of contents in your textbook. But we're going to touch this is kind of the order of topics. So we're going to cover a lot in one semester. Now, you're not going to become an expert in any one of these things, but this course is designed to give you a good base of knowledge. So it's really important that you learn the base of knowledge and really understand it, so that when you take your other courses, specific courses in each of these areas, you can hit the ground running. Okay, and then you'll start to be able to make sense of all these things, how they work together as you go through your scholastic career before you graduate. All right, so you'll do your how you're going to learn all this stuff. You're going to there'll be written lectures and PowerPoint and or some videos. I may have some video lectures. You'll also, of course, read and study on your own. And let's see here. So how are you going to be successful? Keep up with your reading and studying and your assignments. Absolutely stay on track. Essentially, you're doing about one chapter per week in this course, which is super slow, right? That's pretty easy. So you should be reading each chapter at least twice. Also, aside from that, study the PowerPoints with the instructor notes. You'll have to download the PowerPoints to see the instructor notes, by the way. And or, if I do some video lectures of a chapter, those will be in there. I'll show you where those are. So do both. Read the chapters at least twice and study the PowerPoints. All right? Memorize the definitions of all the key terms in each chapter. If you do that, I mean, you're already probably a 75 or 80% right there. If you memorize definitions of all the key terms and actually understand the concepts that go with those. Most people study, by the way, by skimming the chapter and highlighting as they go. Research tells us that is the least effective way to study. Guess what the most effective way to study is? Yep, you guessed it. Right there. Flashcards. There's a flashcard tool that's already built into the digital copy of your textbook, which I will show you. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way on actual 3x5 cards, study those, flip through those every single day. Or you can use Quizlets. That's a free app that you can download that's out there. That's another way to do it. All right? I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to. All right? You could make all your books and all your exams in this course are open book. Well, therefore, if I were taking this course, I would make myself a little index of what page each key concept or topic is on for each exam. So that when you take the exam, now you're going to have enough time to look up every single answer because you have 50 questions and only 75 minutes to take each exam. So you're not going to have time to look up every question. But, if there's say 20% of the questions that you're not absolutely sure of when you're taking the exam, look at your little page index that you made to help you get to that page faster, get to the topic faster in the book so you can try to find the answer. Right? I mean, that's what I would do. All right. So do all of those things, and then right before you take the exam, at least reread the chapter summaries and review your flashcards one more time. If you do all of that, you'll probably do pretty well. Now, everybody's different. Having said all that, don't come to me telling me that you've done all this and you still got a bad grade and therefore it's my fault. No, everybody's different, all right? So at a minimum, I would do this and you will probably do fine. If you feel like you're not getting it just by doing this, well, you might have to study more. Everybody's different, okay? All right, so from here, we'll jump into some Brightspace basics. The digital textbook, which is called MindTap, show you that. And then what to do, actually that should say what to do next. All right, so when you log into Brightspace, this is what you see. You see all of your courses laid out, all right? By the way, so before we jump into the course, this is our course right there. Let me show you something real quick. There's this tab right here called Smart Thinking. It's pretty cool. That is a resource. Oops, not sure why that's doing that. That is a resource. It does normally work. I'm not sure why it is not. There it is. All right. Pretty cool free resource. It's available to all MCC students. When you write a paper, for your entire time here at MCC, before you turn in a paper, always, always, always have someone else check your paper. In my course, you have to write 2 papers. They're pretty short, not a huge deal, but I mostly take off for writing. Part of your development as a professional is learning how to write professionally, which takes practice. You need to write your papers, submit it to somebody who knows what they're doing writing-wise, have them correct your paper and understand why what you did was wrong, make the correction, get it checked again, then turn it in. I'm warning you now, all right? If you turn in a paper in my course and I get halfway through the very first page and your writing is all jacked up, I'm having to reread sentences over and over because they don't really make sense the way you wrote it, or you've got a bunch of spelling or punctuation or grammar errors, I'm going to stop reading. I'm going to give you an F, and I'm going to move on to the next student's paper, and you'll have an F on that paper. I'm completely serious on that. So, what do? Click on that Smart Thinking tab. Click here. Submit my writing. Grammar and documentation review. See what it says there? Fine-tune your writing. Review of any writing project for any class. Focus on grammar, mechanics, and documentation. So you'll send them a copy of your paper and a copy of the instructions for your paper, and they'll help you fine-tune your paper. So you'll get a good grade on it. Too easy. All right, so let's jump into the course real quick. How to navigate. So you jump into the course, you see the welcome message from me, you see some information on how to get to the textbook. So there are instructions, there's the actual textbook, and you can see how where you can buy it. Right there. Click on that link, you can buy your textbook there. All right? All right. By the way, here's my contact information. Professor Steve Greathouse. There's my email address. There is my phone number. There's my office location. If you're local and want to come see me during conference hours, you may. When are conference hours? Boom, right there. But where is a copy of the syllabus? Right there. Right? There's the syllabus. Just click on it, you get to the syllabus. All right? All right, so how to navigate the course. What do you do first? Where is it? Well, as it says here in the instructions, once you read the below, go to the Content tab and click on Begin the Course here. All right, well, let's try that. Click on Content. All right, well, you already done that if you're watching this video. So good job. A little more on Brightspace. There's a video I attached, somebody else made. But there it is, if you really want to learn a little bit more about Brightspace. All right, so what do you do each week? Well, this course is designed, is split up into 4 modules, 4 parts, right? Module 1, you'll see that it's over 4 chapters, each module, right? So chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll take an exam. So essentially, this is week 1. week 2, week 3, week 4. At the end of week 4, you got to take exam 1, the first exam. Well, when is it due, Professor Greathouse? Well, I don't know. Let's look right here. It's available right now. You can take tests early if you want, but guess what? You cannot take them after the due date, which also is the end date. So it's available now, starting October 26th. It is no longer available after September 22nd at 11:59 p.m. After that, so even at 1 minute after, you cannot submit an exam. So don't start it at 11:59. That means you have to be done with it and push submit by that time, because after that time, the system will lock you out. And if you don't take an exam on time or turn in a paper on time, you get a 0. Okay? Part of being a professional. Get your work done on time, even if you have to pull an all-nighter, even if your dog dies, even if your computer takes a dump, even if you get in a fight with your roommate, even if you don't feel good for 3 days, even if nothing. Get your work done on time. This is exactly the same way it works in the professional world, right? You're expected to get your work done no matter what's going on in your personal life. Even if that means you got to pull an all-nighter, even 2 all-nighters, get your work done on time. All right? All right. So that's how the whole course is kind of laid out, right? Module 2 is over chapters 5, 6, 7, and 11. They go out. Some of them go. A couple of them go out of order. You'll see why when you get to the next module. And then exam 2, when do I have to take exam 2? Well, it begins September 23rd is when it's open. And at some point, you have to take it and submit it before October 20th. Now, this does not mean that you have that entire several days to take the 50-question exam. No, what that means is that you can only take the exam one time. Once you start the exam, you have 75 minutes to finish it and submit it. And once you start an exam, you can't get out and get back in. Okay? So make sure you're ready for an exam before you take it. Module 3, also over 4 chapters, 8, 9, 10, and personal finance. That is an appendix, but it is, it's called an appendix because it's at the end of the book, but it is a chapter, right? So all these are financial in nature. Accounting, and finance, and personal finance. So that's why I put those all together. All right, so exam 3, that's when it starts. That's when it's no longer available. And module 4 is only over 3 chapters. Cool. 14, 15, and 17. And then it starts November 18th. You have until December 6th to get it taken. All right, and then you have a comprehensive final exam, but don't panic. All right. Yes, you do not have to restudy the entire book to prepare for that test. I will give you a very good review. In fact, I will tell you, this 50-question exam covers these topics. Question number 1 will be about this. Question number 2 is about this. Question number 3 is about this. And a hint, little secret, you'll have already had some of those exact same questions in your previous exams, all right? So don't panic, right? You will definitely have to study to do well in that exam, but I'll tell you exactly what's going to be on the test. All right, and there are, like I mentioned earlier, there are 2 writing assignments in the course. One is called a business owner interview. I give you, if you click on that, you'll find instructions, and that's also where you will submit your assignment. You'll drag it and drop it into the folder. Once you click on that, you'll see where to do that. Okay? There are detailed instructions. When you click on that, you'll see a document that is attached. Click on that document. It'll tell you exactly how to do the test. Now, keep in mind, and we'll talk about this actually when we get to syllabus. All right, so that's available now. You need to start finding a business owner right now so that you can get this paper done, get it checked, get it rewritten, get it checked again, and submit it by October 2nd at 11:59 p.m. So at 12 midnight, you will not be able to submit it anymore. So no sad emails the next day telling me a sad story. My response is going to be, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but you got a 0. Every semester, I get at least, I would say 2. At least 2 every semester. 2 people email me the day after something is due, after an exam was due, or after a paper was due, and they give me a sad story thinking that this is still high school and we're still treating people like children, and we're gonna go, oh, poor baby, okay, I'll let you submit it. No, I'm gonna say I'm really, really sorry. You got a 0. And then usually the people get really, really angry, and they go talk to my boss, or they drop the course, or that's fine. You're welcome to do that. But I treat people like grown-ups. In the professional world, if you don't get your work done just because you have a sad story, you'll get fired. All right. So my way of firing you is to give you a 0 on the paper. So please make up your mind right now. You're going to be a grown-up. You're going to get your work done no matter what's going on in your life, even if you have to pull all-nighters to get it done. That's just being a professional. All right. All right. Enough on that. And then you also have a research paper to do. Talk about that more a little bit later. So as soon as you finish your business owner interview essay, by the way, that is an essay, not just a interview that you're writing down verbatim. It's an essay. As soon as you're done with that, you need to start on your research paper. And that is a research paper. If you don't know what that is, you'll need to find out. All right. So that essentially is the course. Now, digital textbook. If you bought a digital copy of the textbook online, or you bought a brand new copy of the textbook, it comes with a digital code. Either way, it's not a mandatory part of the course. You know, you can go buy a used copy of the book somewhere and just use the hard copy. That's totally fine. But if you want to use the digital copy of the textbook, which is cheaper, you have to access it here. I repeat, you have to access it here. Don't email me asking me for a course code. There isn't one. All right, this is what you do. You click here. And the first time you do this, it will ask you for what state you're in. Well, you need to say Texas, no matter where you actually are. It'll ask you what city you are in. No matter what city you're in, you need to say Waco, Texas. And then you will find MCC. Once you click on MCC, it'll ask you to put in your digital code. That is the digital code that you bought when you bought the digital copy of your textbook online, or the digital code that came with a brand new copy of the textbook. Okay? Once you do that, you'll be able to get in here and access the textbook, the digital textbook. And this is what it looks like. Like, this is chapter 1. Click on chapter 1. And there you go. There it is. That's what it looks like. There's a chapter introduction. There are videos, pictures. I mean, this is a really good book, by the way. And just so you know, this Urban Farms video, it's still like a little soap opera. It's kind of humorous. That goes through the entire book, the same people, like the same business, little organic farm. But it illustrates in the little skit for each chapter, and it's a continuing thing. It illustrates the key learning for each chapter. So you see some real world examples of how some of this stuff is used in an actual business. So they're kind of silly, but they're actually pretty useful. All right. So anyway, go through the whole book. See? And by the way, check that out. That's a key term. It's underlined for you. Guess what else? As you go through there, you might want to make sure that you have a flashcard for that key term, right? So if you were to go to, here's the flashcard tool over here, you can see, I think most of the key terms, there's a flashcard already made for you, right? So what you do is, so here's value. We just saw that in the book chapter, right? Click on it. I'll tell you what it is. The relationship between the price of a good or service and the benefits it offers to customers. All right. Oh, cool. What's the next key term? Profit. Okay. Click on it. The little virtual card flips over. See the definition, and you can go through the whole thing. And by the way, if you want to create your own card, because not all key topics have a card that's already made for you. So you could create a brand new one by clicking here, right? And then every single day through this entire course, you spend a few minutes flipping through all of the flashcards for the exam that you are, working through. Bam. You'll probably do pretty well in the course, all right? What else is available in this digital textbook? You can also, by the way, let's get back. You can also take some practice tests. These are optional. Please do not send me emails asking me, telling me you missed a quiz. There aren't any quizzes in this course, only exams. These are practice quizzes. But I highly recommend that you take these practice quizzes because they'll give you a good idea of what the tests are like, the exam questions are like. Which of the following statements is true of millennials? Right? That's from the test bank. So you're getting, 22 practice questions that are very, very, very similar to the actual questions that you will find on the exam. So if you can't take this test and do really, really well on it, you're probably not ready to take the actual exam. Okay? All right. So that is essentially how to navigate the course. All right. Now, you can also see your grades, go to attendance. You can see your attendance. You can see your grades. So you have no reason to email me. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a legitimate question, don't hesitate to email me or call me and leave me a voicemail. But I'd rather you not, though. Ask me questions that you have the answer to yourself. Like that's in the syllabus or it's in the grade book. You want to know what your grades are? What your average is in the class? Well, go to grades. Average your grades. In fact, if you scroll all the way to the right and look at final adjusted grade, that's your grade. That's what you have, right? That's it. All right. Enough on that. If you have any questions, let me know as we go through the course. All right, let's take a look at the syllabus real quick. Where is it? There it is. All right. So here's the syllabus. I showed you that link on the course homepage. Gives you the prerequisites. There are no prerequisites for this course. There's my contact information again, right? By the way, in case I forget, make sure you use. I only receive, because of our security software, emails from your MCC email account. I don't. If you send me an email from your Yahoo email or Gmail or whatever, I'm not going to get it. So make sure you use your MCC email address when you email me. If you call my office, chances are I'm probably not going to be here. Leave me a voicemail though, and it will email me your voice memo. I have a super duper mobile phone. I will get your message. All right. If you're local and you want to come see me during conference hours, I'm in Mac 209, all the way at the end of the hall. The Mac building, 209. All right, again, there's the textbook. There's where you can find it. I think the digital copy is a little bit cheaper, by the way. So if you like digital books, and might be the way to go for you. There's a lot of resources here available to MCC students, whether you're on campus or not. You can click on those to see what those resources are. Anything from a little help with food, direction to housing, resources that might be able to help you out, transportation, counseling, a wide variety of things. We really do care about our students, so we have a lot of resources that we've set up for you. So take a look at that. Oh, also tutoring. We have success coaches that can actually help you if you feel like you're not doing that well in a course or several courses, or you need some tutoring. There is tutoring available for every single course on campus. So take a look at that. Let's see. System requirements. We kind of covered this stuff, kind of how we're going to learn. So make sure you read each chapter as we go through. Be ready before you take each exam, because again, you can only open an exam one time. So if you open an exam and you have to finish it, you have 75 minutes. They're all 50 questions long. You do not have time to look up every single question. So you do have to study just like you were taking a closed book exam. Trust me when I tell you that, okay? I want you to do well. Writing assignments. Again, the main thing I take off for is writing. I'm going to say that one more time when we get to the assignment in this syllabus. So I want you to learn what's in each chapter. I want you to start thinking about, as you go through the course, how do you apply the knowledge that we're learning in each chapter? You're getting just a base of knowledge, but start thinking about how you are going to apply it and how it's going to help you be a better professional, right? Now, we'll warn you in advance, some of this stuff is theory, but you have to have a good base of knowledge so that when you get into these specific courses for each individual topic, like accounting, take an accounting course, or economics, when you take your economics course, you've got to have a good theoretical understanding to really absorb the information. So that's why we do that, by the way, in higher education. I want you to start practicing your critical thinking and your professional writing. And again, I want you to start learning behaviors that's going to help you succeed in the professional world. That means doing more than you have to do. That means doing things without somebody holding your hand and having to constantly remind you. Here's a schedule of what you need to do and when you need to have it done. So I'm not going to keep reminding you of things. You're all grown-ups, right? So here is the schedule. So the week of August 26th, which is where we're at right now, right? What do you need to do? Well, congratulations, you're already doing this. You're watching the Welcomes and Syllabus Review video. Then you should read and study Chapter 1 and the PowerPoint slides and start trying to find a business owner to interview. Okay? And I would also, by the way, make my flashcards. That's what I would do. And maybe a topic index, what page everything is on, right? Then, starting next week, kind of the same thing, right? It's kind of what you'll do each week. That's an error. That should say Chapter 3. I will fix that. All right. And then Chapter 4. Then, no later than, that's what NLT means, no later than September 22nd, you need to take Exam 1 in Brightspace, right where I showed you where the link is, in Module 1. And then, you guessed it, you go through Chapter 5, Chapter 6, and by the way, in the middle of this module, you have to turn in your business owner interview essay. No later than 10/6, which is October 6th, right? So anyway, moving towards Exam 2. So we got Chapter 5, Chapter 6, Chapter 7, Chapter 11. Then, no later than October 20th, you have to take Exam 2 in Brightspace. So, I think you get the idea, right? And then, I will open up the exam, the cumulative final, probably on the 10th. You have 24 hours to start that exam and finish it, right? And just like the other exams, you have 75 minutes. Once you open it, that's it. You can only open it once. You've got 75 minutes. Once you open it, you've got 75 minutes to complete the exam and click submit. And you got to do that by the 12th. If you are graduating, I believe that is on a Wednesday. If you are graduating, you need to take it on Tuesday, which is the day before this, December 10th. Because I have to submit grades for people that are graduating by Wednesday morning, which is the 11th. All right? So, what's grading? Well, the grading is pretty simple. I made everything worth 100 points each so that you can easily average your grades and you know what you're getting, where you're at in the course, right? So each exam there are 4 regular exams. You got 4 of them. They're each worth 100 points for a total of 400 points. Your business owner interview essay is 100 points. Your research paper is 100 points. By the way, if you blow off one of those, there's almost no way you can get an A. It's almost impossible. Every semester, I have somebody fail the course by like 1 point or 2. And a lot of times, they blew off one of these 2 assignments. And then they come to me with a sad story about how they have to pass the course or they're going to lose their scholarship or blah, 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 whatever. Well, my response is always, I'm so sorry you decided to blow off that work. But you give you your grade, I don't give you your grade. Okay? All right. Comprehensive final, it's just worth 100 points, just like one of these exams. All right? So, there's a total of 700 points that are available for this course. If you get 90% or better of 700 points, which is 626 points, you get an A. And B, C, D, etc. All right? So there's no reason for you to email me, ask after, what your grade is. Well, look in Brightspace and see what your grade is. Don't email me towards the end of the semester going, what do I need to get on the comprehensive final in order to get a B or whatever? Well, do the math. You've got access to the same thing I do as far as your grades. Look at your grades. Figure it out. And by the way, do not email me at the end of the semester saying, oh, looks like I was 1 point away from getting the grade I wanted. Is there any way you can bump me up to? My response is always going to be the same thing. I don't give you your grade. You give you your grade. So if you want an A in this course, make up your mind right now. You're going to do the work necessary to earn that A. Okay? All right. Again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be fair. I can't bump you up and not bump everybody else up, okay? So it's just to be fair. Plus, it's part of being a professional. You got to get your work done on time no matter what's going on in your personal life. All right, exams. I think I pretty much covered all this stuff, right? You can take exams early, but you cannot take them late. All right? And I leave exams open for several days, right? So you can take them early. If you know you're going to be busy, that last day that an exam is available, well, take it early. You can't take it late, okay? If you're sick, the last day it's available, well, so what? You still have to take the test on time. You could have taken it earlier. So my advice is don't wait till the last minute to take a test. Because if you wait till the last minute to take a test and then your computer dies, or you lose your internet connection, or your dog dies, or I keep saying that, whatever, you have some kind of emergency, well, that's on you, right? So don't wait till the last minute to take an exam. You can't even take it late for a university excused absence because I leave them open for several days for you to take it. The only time I will let a student take an exam late or turn in an assignment late is if they are in the hospital for several days before something is due, or death in the immediate family. And even those, I require written, verifiable documentation that I can call the main number of whatever business or funeral home or what have you and verify what you're telling me is true. You'd be surprised when people try to get away with it, all right? So, in a nutshell, take your exams on time. Don't wait till the last minute. All right? They're all 50 questions. You have 75 minutes to take each exam. And they're all multiple choice, by the way. In fact, I even throw in a few true false sometimes, just because I care about you and I want you to do well. The business owner interview essay. That is an essay. All right. Now, there are detailed instructions for that assignment. You have to have a cover sheet and then the required number of pages. Look at those instructions. If you have any questions, let me know. Just remember, the cover sheet does not count towards your required page count. All right, so you'll see that. Details of that in the assignment instructions. Research paper. This is a 5 to 7 page research paper. If somehow you got through high school without having to do a research paper, shame on your high school. If you don't know how to do a research paper in APA format, well, you need to learn. And I'm not an English teacher, so no, I am not going to teach you how to do an APA research paper. Get online, go to YouTube, watch some videos, or go to the Student Success Center or go to the Student Success Center here on campus, get some help from them. All right, APA format. Again, the thing I take off most for is writing. So please get your work checked, fix it, then get it checked again before you submit it. I want to give you all an A on these papers, right? You can't turn it in late. I count off mostly for writing. It's got to be an APA documentation. If it's not an APA format, I just automatically will give you a 0 and move on to the next student who did follow instructions. If your writing is all jacked up, I'm going to give you an F and move on to the next student who did put forth the effort to do it correctly. Okay? Don't be that student. Be a professional. All right. I want you to do well. Final exam. We covered that, right? That is not taken in the classroom. Well, that is an error I need to fix. All right. It is taken in Brightspace just like everything else. Let's see here. Again, I do not accept late work. You can take stuff early. You can submit things early, but you can't do it late. There's the exceptions I spoke of. If you're in the hospital the entire week preceding a due date, yes, then I will work with you. That requires documentation. If you have a death in the immediate family, requires documentation, but yes, I will work with you if that is the case. Therefore, don't send me sad stories. By the way, all these examples I'm writing here are examples of actual excuses I've gotten from my students about why they didn't get their work done on time. I get this one a lot. Oversleeping, seriously? If you work for me in the civilian world and you tell me that you can get your work done on time, you missed a deadline and maybe that's probably going to screw over a customer or delay the projects of other people in the company, or there's a lot of serious ramifications for not getting your work done in a professional position. I would fire you. Well, that is the absolute lamest excuse right there. Forgetting. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah. I've been stressed out. Yeah, well, life is stressful. Welcome to the world. I've been working a lot of hours at work. Yep, we all do. Sucks to be you. Stay up all night and get your work done if you have to. I don't care. Get your work done. I do care, but it's just part of life, right? When you get into your professional position, you will have to pull all-nighter sometimes. You'll have to skip meals sometimes. You'll have to miss Little League games sometimes. You'll have to, etc. Right? That's just life. You got to get your work done on time. All right. So if you know you're going to be busy ahead of time, well, turn something in. You can turn things in early, just not late. All right. Even though this is an online course, we are required to take attendance in some way. Thus, for this course, what I did is I divvied up. You've got what? 4 exams, 4 regular exams, and 2 assignments. So if you take the number of, what I did is I essentially just will give you an attendance grade for each of those assignments. So if you don't do something, I will count you absent. All right? So what this means is if you get a 0 on an exam or a writing assignment, I'll give you an absence. Right? It'll count for 17% absent for the course. That means if you fail to complete 2 exams, if you get 2 zeros, essentially, then that will put you over the 25% absent requirement that MCC has. That means I'll drop you from the course. If you're passing, I'll give you a W. If you're not passing, I'll drop you with an F. One of the two. All right, so when will you be dropped with an F or a W? Well, here's something that'll help you out, hopefully. So if you drop before the October 28th student-initiated deadline, then you can drop with a W. No problemo. If you get 2 zeros, I will drop you. As long as it's before October 28th, I will drop you with a W. After October 28th, you can't drop the course. You're in it. You're in it to win it. You're going to get the grade that you earned in the course, right? So if you're still enrolled in the course, you can't just stop doing stuff after October 28th and think that I'm going to drop you with a W. No, after October 28th, you'll be locked out of all future assignments, meaning you'll get a 0 for everything that's left in the course. You can't just stop doing it and magically you're going to get a grade for each one you're not. Even if you turn something in. If you've already gotten 2 zeros, if you turn something in, you might as well not, because I'm going to give you a 0 for it, right? All right, so just keep that in mind. And I'm not going to warn people. I'm not going to warn people that you're getting close. You've already got 1 0. If you get one more, no, I'll just tell you right now. If you get 2 zeros, I'm going to drop you from the course. Okay? So, all right, enough on that. That's a little more detail right there. And by the way, if you're not, I can't drop you with a W if you've already reached your MCC limit of 6 drops. That means I'll lock you out of the course and give you a 0 for everything left in the course, which will give you an F for that course. All right? So if you have any questions on that, let me know at now. If you feel like you need to maybe be with a teacher who will hold your hand and give you reminders and treat you like a child, I'm not that professor. So you might want to drop the course now and get somebody who will babysit. I don't do that. All right? You're all grown-ups and awesome, I'm sure. You don't need that. Communication with me. Just like in the professional world with your boss. Don't ever email your boss with a stupid question that you could have found the answer to yourself, right? If you could have asked a coworker, if you could have looked it up, if you could have Googled it, if you could have looked in some kind of documentation and get the answer, do so. Same thing in this course, right? If the answer you seek is in the syllabus or in this video, I'm probably going to tell you to look in the syllabus instead of answering your question. Not because I don't want to help you, but because I want you to get in the habit of acting like a professional. Okay? But if you do want to email me, totally fine. I will help you out. No problemo. And maybe if something's in the syllabus, but it doesn't seem clear to you, that's fine. Email me. Just so you know, I do not respond to emails after 8 p.m. at night, and not at all on the weekends. That's my family time. Just be respectful of me and your classmates. For example, address me as Professor Greathouse or Professor. That's part of becoming a professional, right? When you get into the professional world, your first professional job, you'll maybe pass the president of the company in the hallway. You should not say something like, "Hey man, what's up?" That's not professional, is it, right? You'd say, "Good morning, sir," or "Good morning, ma'am," whatever the case may be, right? So just kind of, that's more of trying to get you in that mode. Yep, make sure you turn in your own work. I'll drop you from the course if if you try to turn in somebody's work as wrong, right? For example, when you turn in your papers, we use the turn it in tool, which looks for originality, meaning if somebody else last semester did a paper in another course, you can't try to turn it in and just change a few things because the software will catch it, right? Just warning you. I don't think any of you would try to do that. But so if your originality score is below 25%, that means you plagiarize a bunch of it. I'm going to give you a 0 for that paper, and or just drop you with an F from the course. I don't think any of you would do that. But every semester, there's usually one student who tries to do that. All right, the rest is just some MCC standard stuff. I'm going to click on those, read through them. If you have ADA, if you have accommodations, like you are supposed to be able to get extra time for an exam or what have you, be sure and let me know, because sometimes I forget. I have to set you up in the system for that extra time. So please let me know if you have accommodations, so I am absolutely sure to set you up so that you get that extra time. All right. If you have any questions or problems with that stuff, just let me know, and I will fix it, and I'll work with you. We take the health of our students very seriously here at MCC. So we have a Title IX office. There's some contact information there if you need some assistance. We are absolutely happy to help you. You can come to me, or you can go directly to Title IX coordinator, get the help that you seek. Okay. All right, so that is about it. I know you guys will do awesome in the course. If you have any questions or concern, please let me know.